G'day, legends. G'day. Welcome. Yeah, UFC Mexico City. That's it. It's in the books. Look, it was actually a very enjoyable card. It was a very, very enjoyable card, wasn't it? But I think we do need to talk about the big elephant in the room, which is me making the video about Steve Erceg and how I said he was dominate Brandon Moreno. And quite frankly, I think he did. I think I was completely justified in that. I think he did dominate Brandon Moreno. I think the judging was biased. I think it was unfair. I think you could easily give Steve Erceg rounds 2, rounds 3, and 4. I mean, look at the striking stats. Just look at the number of strikes that are thrown in the fight. It's pretty obvious that Steven Erceg won this one, eh? Where are my Sean Strickland copers out there? Where is this army of Sean Strickland fans that are always talking about strike stats? Where are they now? Why are they not jumping on the Erceg train? Look, it is obviously a bit of a stretch to say that Steve Erceg won that fight. Even I can't do that. But don't worry. I now have to make a 3-hour and 29-minute video explaining why I was so wrong to pick Steve Erceg against Brandon Moreno. Recording of that video starts today. Hopefully it'll be done by the end. It will be done I'll get it done by the end of the week. So I think we are going to save my coping and my insane details and picking why I thought Erceg was going to get it done for that video. At the end of the day, let us talk about the facts and the reality of this fight, which is it's damage-based scoring, all right? Listen, Israel Adesanya, Corey Sandhagen, Ricky Turcios, yeah? That is a hardcore example there. Right? You're talking about fighters, you're bringing up different fighters and examples, and you're bringing up Ricky Turcios. That's a hardcore MMA fan's example there, bro. You ain't seeing Ricky Turcios on the main card of a crowded arena. You know what I mean? That is a Apex lifer for sure. It's like the UFC Apex is like a completely different league of MMA right now, isn't it? And Ricky Turcios is one of those kind of fighters. That's hardcore. Why I'm bringing up these sort of fighters, the Israel Adesanyas, the Ricky Turcios kind of fighters, is because people are out there, they're saying it. They're going around. You can't be out there just, tape, jabbing. You got to be landing the shots, man. And what's so interesting about seeing the way that Brandon Moreno has fought and how long he's been in the cage, how long he's been in the UFC for, he starts to understand that now. Like, he is not just, moving his head in all sorts of directions, keeping his opponent thinking, throwing his jab out in all weird angles and weird thinking. He is actually in there mixing it up a little bit. He's being clean. He's being technical with the striking. He's jabbing, he's dubbing, he's hooking, he's doing everything perfectly. But then every now and then, he just runs in with a big meaty overhand to try and catch them. And he doesn't really care if it lands or not. And you know why? Because he knows that he is trying to land something with impact in that moment. So in the course of the fight, during the 5-minute block of each round, he's there, shadowboxing, confusing his opponent, then he's landing the technical stuff, and then every now and then, he is just throwing a takedown or a haymaker. Just blasting a haymaker down the center. Just to create a big moment to steal the round. And I mean, that is exactly how it's written within the rule set. That is exactly how it's written. Quite often, when I'm doing commentary for fights, when I'm doing the live stream, we're looking at a fight. It's a classic fight at the UFC warehouse, yeah? It's a big, long sparring session. There's always that moment in a close fight where I'll say to the live stream, someone needs to do something big to put a stamp on this round. And that's what Brandon Moreno's learned. That's what he's starting to do now. It's that something that, again, the Sandhagens, the Ercegs, the Turcioses, they need to look at it. They need to understand you can't just be technical the entire round. When you've been technical the entire round and you look to those little DraftKings clocks on the side and you see there's 1 minute left, there is something big to do. You have got to do something big. Sean Strickland suffers from this too, So does Israel Adesanya. So does Jan Blachowicz. We just saw it with Jan Blachowicz. So does Alexander Rakic. You know what it is? It's these karate guys, these taekwondo guys, these kickboxing guys. We are not out here accumulating points with the strikes. MMA is impact-based scoring. The whole sport, the whole rule set, the whole thing was created from a standpoint of excitement and entertainment. It's an entertainment sport, yeah? It's not like karate or taekwondo that are these point-based sports that came up through the Olympics and tried to be like these legitimate competitions. No. This thing started off as like no-holds-barred cage fighting back in 1993. The whole thing is to be excitement, and the rule set is written that way. So these guys that go out there and they're so clean and they're so technical, they're so good with their takedown defense, and they're able to find like more jabs and more inside low kicks. Alexander Rakic, again, it's just not enough. It's not enough. You got to go out there and do something big. And Erceg suffered from that last night, and Brandon Moreno has learnt that and started implementing that. I am sure that Erceg and Adesanya and Moreno, not Moreno, but these other guys that I'm talking about, when they're at their gym and they're striking and they're getting rounds, and I'm sure that they're doing everything perfectly. I'm sure their coaches are talking to them about how good they're looking out there, how perfect and slick everything is. But at some point, man, you've got to be Drickus. You've got to be Buckley. You have got to just land some big meaty hooks. So well done to Brandon Moreno for learning that and bringing that in. So it was great. Well done to Mexico. Shout out to the Mexicans. Good stuff. I hope to visit one day. There will be a 3-hour Cope video coming. Don't worry about that, though. What are some other key takeaways of UFC Mexico? Now that I'm done with that, just how well Brandon Moreno did and how great Erceg did at winning a kickboxing match, but this kickboxing is not. Some other takeaways from UFC Mexico. CJ Vergara's career is 100% over. He's getting cut this week. Look forward to that. Put that on your put that on the bingo card for this week. UFC roster tracker on Twitter, on X. CJ Vergara cut this week. 100% is happening. The next takeaway from UFC Mexico. Drew Dober, it's over. It's over. Where's my Mark Goddard impression? It's over. No, it's over. Drew Dober, it's over. The man needs chin. Drew Dober is built for war, and he has lost his chin. It was a great run, Drew Dober, but it is Drew Dober. And I'm sorry to see it, mate. It was a great run. Like, we salute you, Drew Dober. You know, Uncle H would have been proud of all the work you put in, but it is now time for you to retire to Argentina. The war has come to an end. How can you be the way Drew Dober fights and have a glass chin and have a chin the size of Drew Dober's? He's like a walking meme the way that he looks. Oh, it sucks to see. And the shots weren't to the back of the head. They were smashing him to the side of the head. And you could tell when Dober stood back up, the way that he was wobbling around, his mind is built for fighting. His default mindset is stand up and get into the fisticuffs positions. But the dude was completely unconscious while being conscious, if that makes sense. Like, the eyes were open, but the brain was not connected to the eyes. The last big point that I wanted to talk about, we hung around on this for a bit, talking about this in the live stream, was Raul Rosas Jr. I like Raul Rosas Jr. Raul Rosas Jr. is a good kid. He's a funny kid. He's got a great personality. Chihuahuas it's out there now. He's learning to fight. He's 20 years old. He's got a huge future ahead of him in the UFC. The UFC need to stop what they're doing to him. It's cruel, quite frankly. They need to turn down all of the hype machine that they have going on and stick him in the apex. Put him in the apex, slow him down. I am telling you what is going to happen to Raul Rosas Jr. They are building him up. We had a fucking promo for the word Chihuahua on a feature fight at a UFC Mexico card. This is not good. This is not good because his talent level is not where his hype level is, that's for sure. He is not the highest level UFC athlete that he can be, okay? What he's doing is very impressive. It's very good for a 20-year-old. But he is like an LFA level fighter. Like, they gave him a can yesterday, and he kind of struggled with the can. It wasn't very impressive. Like, it was a great grappling contest, but his ground and pound, his striking is not there. Like, he was nearly submitted. It's not going good for him, yeah? And the way that the hype machine is building up, what they're doing to him is they're going to have to pay him more and more money as his fights go on. He is going to have to fight at 21, 22 years old. He is going to have to fight in the rankings soon. Around the top 10, top 15, top set. He is starting to enter that echelon, and he is not going to be able to hang with those guys. So all of this hype is going to get built up, and then he is going to fight those guys, and people are going to say that he is a fraud check, that he was never going to be anything. Here's another hardcore example, boys. Sage Northcutt. Sage Northcutt. We saw it happen to Sage Northcutt, and I don't want to see it happen to Raul Rosas Jr. Where he is skill-wise is not matching the speed of the hype train that he is on. So I need to be the adult in the room, because I don't know how many people are going to say it. Turn off this hype machine, stick him in the Apex for 3 years, let him become an MMA fighter. Because right now, we are giving a LFA level fighter the hype of a top 15, like, Ruffy sort of a guy. We're giving him like the hype of the fighting nerds. This he is not. No. This has to stop. It's cruel, to be honest. But that'll do. Like Raul Rosas Jr., I look forward to it. Just when the fraud check happens, just don't be too cruel to him, because I can see it coming. In the next 2 years, it is coming, and it's not going to be nice. So be nice to Raul Rosas Jr. I would like to see Raul Rosas Jr. as like a 25, 27-year-old be a complete MMA fighter and still have some personal confidence left in his life without just the shitstorm that is coming at him from the UFC general audience. But that is it. UFC Mexico was a great card. Steve Erceg was robbed. Kidding. Well done to Brandon Moreno. It was a great card. Drew Dober is Drew Over. Yeah, it was highly enjoyable card. So that's it. If this is your first time here, g'day. My name is Dougie. I make an MMA video every day of the week, Monday through Friday. It's Monday here in Australia, so the content train kicks off. So we'll be making an MMA video every day this week. If you want to join me for any of the live streams, I try and go live at least 3 times a week. If you want to know when all that happens, hit that subscribe button down there. Hit the notification bell. And if you like this video, leave a like. And if you're one of the paying members of the channel, thank you so much. Bloody love you guys. Your names are up on the next slide. Until then, you'll have a great day. I'll see you in the next one.